Bills could catch a break, maybe a break. Davis Mills has had some good success with Nico Collins. And the Bills played Davis Mills a while back. Things I remember about Davis Mills. 1, he has a very long neck.
Yes.
2,
there was a minute where his nickname was, there was a Mills Mafia.
Mills Mafia
for a moment.
1, long neck. 2, they intercepted him 4 times in the rain at Highmark.
And he didn't score a point.
Right. But against the Titans, 274 and a touchdown and a quarterback rating of 90. Against the Jaguars, 292, 2 touchdowns, a pick, and a quarterback rating of 84.
Yeah.
So he's had 3 starts here, 3 games. 1 was against the Broncos, which nobody looks good against the Broncos for the most part. So, Davis Mills.
Yeah, I saw some Bills fans thinking like, well, he could even be better than Stroud was. This might not be a great thing that he's playing. Like that game last week against Tennessee, I want to dive in more on like what happened there, because when I was watching a little of that game up until halftime, just on Red Zone, they were down in that game. Yeah. Tennessee's the worst team in the league, and they really struggled to score. I don't know if it was turnovers or what, but even at the end of the day, they only landed on 16 points in the game. And he threw it, 274 on 41 attempts. It's not the best. So, not somebody that I'm really afraid of whatsoever.
803-0550. Asking the question this morning, your thoughts. What is the proper ask of the Bills defense? What is the appropriate standard for what you're looking for? You can let us know. You can reply, post this on Twitter, answer there, or give us a call at 803-0550. It's a short week, so get your opinions in quick. Emmett in Boston is up. Emmett, Boston, Mass, or Boston, New York?
No, Boston, Mass.
All right. Welcome from Boston, Mass.
I was just curious about the defense. Like, you watch them, they look super incompetent all the time. Aside from the Chiefs game, like all around. And Sean McDermott is. I just was curious.
And you're breaking up from Boston, Mass.
He gets away with not having a top 10 defense before you get an offensive-minded head coach or something. It just baffles me. And also, I've always been wondering why he's been letting Tre'Davious White play over Maxwell Harrison when he says, everything's earned, not given. And you watch Tre'Davious White, and he looks like he has every guy he's playing against on fantasy.
Yeah. Did that happen this week with Trey White?
No, because they wasn't able to pass it. But you still watch the tape, and there was a lot of plays to be made against him.
There were this week?
I didn't see. The only time I really noticed him, he had broken up a play that was intended for Cade Otton on a 3rd down, I think. So, no, I don't think it was the worst game for Trey White.
I don't remember him playing. I know he did.
He played about half the snaps.
Right, and I don't really have any sort of...
Yeah. It's been about a 50-50 split when him and Hairston have both been in the lineup. Mm-hmm. But I don't think you have to... If that's your biggest problem with their defense, I don't think you have to worry too much. I think as the season continues, Hairston will play more and more.
Is it?
But I think if everybody's healthy, like if there's no more injuries at cornerback, cross your fingers, I think by the time the playoffs show up, Hairston is playing every snap.
Is it at all possible that it's a medical thing where they're like, Hairston's back off the injury, let's not overwork him?
Yes, I think it's very
possible. I don't know
it's
the answer to that.
For sure.
Yeah. And on McDermott on this, supposed to have a top 10 defense, I would simply ask this. Does anybody think he has the horses to have a top 10 defense?
Right.
The Bills, who's their best defensive player? Benford? Not
this year.
Not having the kind of year he did the year before.
Is it Cole Bishop
Is
right
it
now?
Cole Bishop? Is it Cole Bishop is number 1 and Michael Hoyt's number 2? Is it Ed Oliver?
Bosa is probably up there.
Playing with one hand?
Right.
I got a defensive end with one hand. Right. I got two of the 4 candidates are out. Yep. I'm playing practice squad defensive tackles weekly.
No, there's no stud. There's no all-pro.
He didn't take over the Broncos defense, which has studs all over it,
right,
and turn it into a bad unit. I think a big point about the Bills' defense. Why did they draft a full draft of defense? Because they feel like their talent on that side of the ball needs an upgrade. Right. So that's how you get Max Hairston, TJ Sanders, Landon Jackson, Deion Walker. First 4 picks.
Yeah.
And Ogunjobi and Hoyt. Like their offseason was about upgrading the talent on their defense. So, I mean, I hear a lot about McDermott with his, he's a defensive coach. Did you notice what they did in the second half? They adjusted.
Yeah.
They changed their rush package. They had answers. They had answers against the Bucs.
That's been something for all the adjustment folks out there. And that's a very common complaint, I feel like, in football media.
Lack of adjustments?
Yeah. Hasn't he done that, like, all the time, like, every single week? I mean, the Falcons game was this, wasn't it? Atlanta was ripping them up in the first half. And then what did the second half look like? Like, a lot better. They gave the team a chance to come back in the game. I think that he's doing a pretty darn good job with what's been available to him this year. If you want to really, but that's kind of the same question. What's your standard for Sean McDermott? What's your standard for the defense? Your standard for Sean McDermott might be that, well, if you are a defensive-minded head coach, then I need you to either have a top-level defense or I need you to have the answers in the playoffs. And for me, like, we can, until we're blue in the face, argue about how good their defense is right now.
Playoffs.
But McDermott will be judged on how his defense performs in the postseason.
For sure.
Because even in previous years where he's had a top 10 defense, it's not showed up in the playoffs. So that's what's more important. And for me, it's more about finding out right now, do they have the players that, like, I could properly judge McDermott if, hey, they do play Kansas City again and they allow another 35 points. Do I have enough pieces to properly judge that? Because my biggest annoyance in the last 2 years has been there's been an excuse, a built-in excuse of, well, Benford got hurt in the first snap and Kyer Elam had to play the whole game. Or the year before, it's A.J. Klein is in the game because I'm down to my sixth linebacker. And both times it's, is he really supposed to get the most out of this defense? Look who's on the field. If Hairston's out there and playing well, if Bishop's out there and playing well, and Bosa's available, and you can get Oliver back, like, I think you're getting to a place where there is enough there to get playoff performance. It's not that there's any all-pros, there's no game wreckers, but I think that hasn't been enough yet. I think you could see a light at the end of the tunnel where there's enough to work with on this defense to get proper results.
803-0550, our phone number. Part of the follow-up is, what is the standard? Is the standard top 10? The caller says, why can't I have a top 10 defense? Like, okay, that can be your standard. Should you have a top 10 defense with the players they have on would another coach, would Vic Fangio roll in with this roster and just say, like, bam, top 10 defense? Does anybody think that would happen?
I'd be a little skeptical.
Right. If Sean McDermott rolls in and has the Broncos defense or the Texans have what the Bills have been chasing for years, which is two premier defensive ends. Mm-hmm. Like they have two edge rushers that are really going to challenge the Bills. We'll see how this game goes, but man, the Bills would dream of having these two guys.
Or Denver, who's got Nick Bonito. And when he's available, Pat Surtain, who's the best corner in football. I saw a stat yesterday. The Broncos, they're on like a historic pace for sacks this year. They have a sack on 11% of plays. Think of that. 11% of their opponent's plays, they get a sack. And a lot of that is personnel. A lot of that, too, is who you play. But a lot of that's personnel. McDermott doesn't have, even the guys up top are only pretty good. But they have, to this point, a lot of injuries on defense. Right? It's been a lot of injuries on defense.
It's been a ton.
I think they could get to a place where they're pretty healthy. They're not going to get Hoyt back. But everybody else could be on the way back on defense. But if you are judging them right now on whether they're top 10, then I don't think there's many coaches in the league that could get it out of him. But if I get all these guys back, can I get top 10 from here forward? I think that is not the most unrealistic ask.
Yeah.
I think it's possible that you could get that.
Can I give you one quick note that would say it's a good thing that James Cook ends up being good and the Bills extended him? Nick Bonito was the next pick in the draft.
After James Cook?
After James Cook was Nick Bonito. If Cook is, not good, I think we might know that more as a statistic or whatever. It's a little note like, hey, there's Nick Bonito, one of the best pass rushers in the entire league.
Right.
Second round. But Cook, is a good pick. And the Bills would have had Vaughn back then and probably felt better about Rousseau was young at that time. Anyway, 803-0550, our phone number. Asking what you want to see from the defense. Try and put a number on it. Try and put a accomplishment on it. Michael writes in 20 points per game. Not realistic.
Yeah.
To me, that is not, in the playoffs, not realistic. Would any team,
No, that would be a pretty darn good. What did the Chiefs do a couple years ago?
Would anyone out there think that a standard against the Bills would be hold Josh Allen to 20 points per game in the playoffs? Would you accept that as a standard? Because if that's the standard, then Steve Spagnuolo's never done it.
Right.
That's the standard. You're going to be disappointed.
Well, this is again where like this playoffs could be interesting because if I play Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, I know it's unrealistic to think you're going to go 20 points a game. But if I play Bo Nix and Daniel Jones,
and what they do against Bo Nix in the playoffs? Less than 20
last year?
Yeah,
7, right?
Blew him out.
It was the first play of the game, and that was it. So it depends who you play a little bit.
Sure, it's a part of it. Next one writes in, Jerry writes in, 100 yards or less rushing yards per game allowed. Okay. They just gave up 200, won by double digits.
Yeah, again, the who you play. 20 points a game has happened. 2 years ago, Kansas City, they allowed 7 to Miami, 24 to the Bills, 10 to Baltimore. That's a great game. And then 22 to San Francisco. So that's 15 a game.
Oh, sure. That's
it's possible to do it.
Wait, we're doing a 4. Okay, I wasn't sure. We're doing a 4-game average because 20 points per game in the postseason. If you're saying I want to give up 20 points per game,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What that means is 20, 20, 20, 20. It's not an average because if you go above and lose, you don't get to play another game.
I see what
and this is where it gets down to match play. You gave up 24 to Kansas City,
right? 10 and 30, and you lose in the second round.
Right? I give up 20 points per game.
Yeah,
I do like this question though. I think it's kind of fun. We'll get some more answers in 803-0550.
How about not allowing match what that was? Kansas City 2 years ago. You don't allow more than 24 in a playoff game. That's your standard.
That's a heck of a standard.
This year's playoffs, you will not allow more than 24.
That's a heck of a standard.
What should that number be then? 28?
If it's 24, I want to say if they don't allow more than 24, then they should win the Super Bowl.
All right, what if it's 28?
I would like to think they should win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
But
not allowing 30?
But I'm over here defense, schmefense.
Right.
Because the way that they've wanted to, and this gets to the larger conversation, hasn't the way that they've wanted to hold teams under 28 been by limiting possessions?
Yes.
They lost
That's where I get to my optimism of, well, hopefully they're not missing pieces this time, and as many pieces, and they treat it differently.
Play a real game.
Yeah.
Because 2 years ago they gave up 27 here and lost.
All right, so that would have been a year where they didn't give up 28.
803-0550.